Welcome to Ghostwatch 2016. We're watching Kamen Rider Ghost. My name's Coriander Dickinson. I've seen a bunch of Kamen Rider stuff.
My name's Heather Deary, and I've seen some Sentai.
My name is Kate Stark, and I'm sick.
This time we watched episode 11, Magnificence, the Divine Eye.
I think the episode names are getting better and better, week by week.
They always use exclamation points, and I love it. They're like very excited at how divine this eye is and magnificence is.
They're also very good at not describing anything anymore, but very much encapsulating what happens.
Well, like, all the icons from last episode was pretty dead on. It's like, the icons assemble.
Well, yeah, but this one's just like, magnificent giant eye, and you're like, okay, it's gonna be magnificent, and there'll probably be a giant eye.
And then it was.
So last time, at the end of the episode, Scary Mouth Man managed to collect all the icons by stealing, and then popped a giant bubble around the temple.
But not with his mouth. It's just not a mouth bubble. It's just a big bubble.
An icon bubble.
An eye bubble.
Ugh. No.
I know, right? Gross.
No.
Now I'm upset.
I'm always upset. We saw all of the icons for the first time.
In a very nice display case.
There is a problem with overlapping colors, I feel. Like, there's like 4 mostly white ones, and like 4 blue ones.
There's like blue, and then the purple looks very similar to blue.
They don't even arrange them in like rainbow color order, which
Nope.
they should.
Which I would really love. Or maybe if they were like Pantone color matched, that would make me feel better.
I think there must be a Pantone color hero set.
I would buy that.
The heroes of Pantone.
That should be us.
We should be the heroes of Pantone?
Yeah.
I like it. I don't know what our mission statement is, but I like it.
Organizing things by color.
Sign me up.
It's like we just get like tubs of Lego.
I have so many sticky notes we could use.
I like this a lot. This week, we have 0 icons and 22 days left. And I wrote in my notes, oh, fuck, because I realized how screwed we were.
Well, Taco Time is very screwed. He has none of them. I mean, he's got a good number of days left, though.
Totally enough time to get them all back together.
We see a lot of Urisen in this episode.
In varying states of wellness.
For example, at the start of this episode, he's all like, okay, let's just charge into this force field.
And then he gets fried.
I was like, nope, that doesn't work. Nobody else try to touch this thing. Let the puppet be an example to you all.
Spectre, while angry still, is angry in varying degrees.
He's sad and he tries to punch himself into the center of the earth.
Yes.
But it's still a different angry than the angry we've seen him before. Eminem is also standing around being all, oh, what up? What up here?
Eminem seemed confused.
I don't think he knows much. Like,
No.
He's like, I'm good at fighting. I'm going to do that.
He hasn't been around for very long. He's been here helping out, pretty boy, doing something, knows some stuff, but I don't think he's been brought up to speed on the current situation.
Like, you don't think their organization has like a bringing new people on board, like an onboarding procedure?
I don't think they have a Slack or a Trello to keep people up to date with what's going on.
Like no wiki?
I'd recommend a Slack channel for them. I think it could really help.
Like I seriously think like a Ganma royalty wiki or something. Just be like, if you're entering the real world.
It seems that whenever he's doing something fight-wise, he does it, and then Pretty Boy comes around and is like, no, stop.
I think Pretty Boy likes Spectre and does not really want Spectre to get hurt. I think him and Spectre kind of got to be friends for a while. Maybe not so much in Spectre's mind, but in Pretty Boy's mind, and he's a little confused to what Spectre's doing, and there's probably just this whole thing we're not privy to yet because we haven't seen all the flashbacks. because there will be flashbacks.
Interesting theory. I like it.
I mean, it'll be a fanfic if it doesn't happen.
So Scary Mouth enters the basement where previously Akari was thrown against a wall and knocked out. And he lays out a nice towel with a scary eye drawn on it and starts placing the icons upon it in a circle.
And then takes like an eyedropper with like this blue liquid in it and drops it into the center. And then like blue flames come up from everything.
Yeah, Akari wakes up about now.
Starts to.
She gets up. She's hurt her ankle somehow by being thrown back into a wall.
Maybe it's like pain displacement, like she's really hurt her shoulder or something. But
I mean, that would make more sense. But I feel like they're just trying to slow her down so that she doesn't quite enter the scene as quickly as she would be if she was just able-bodied.
So the icons start all glowing. And then they like fly up into the air in a spiral and then make like a circle around the eye on the monolith. And then the monolith eye glows. And Gramps appears behind Scary Mouth Man.
And then Scary Mouth Man says, I want to rule over everything.
Now we know his motivation, which is just essentially world domination. Or maybe dimensional domination, given that there seems to be other dimensions or something going on as well. But then he kind of turns like weird black flecks start happening, almost like a mosquito thing, but not like the buggy.
He turns into particles and flies into the eye.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
It
actually
seems like the outcome he didn't want. He's like, I want to rule the world, and the icons are like, you're just gonna be digitized or something,
and sucked into the icon world.
And Gramps is there, and he's like, didn't expect this. Didn't know he had 5. But it's fine. He doesn't have a belt.
But at the same time, he was like, I was careless. I probably should have known that. Should have checked in on it. Didn't.
Yeah, like maybe he should have had like his own Scary Mouth Man costume to be like, here's a hint. This is where you go for the rest of the icons.
So Gramps... like, clearly I think we've all expected that Gramps has had a larger role in this since the beginning, but I kind of expected he'd be really one-dimensional, but I feel like he might know way more and have a much larger role than I'm expecting.
I think he might just be a massive poser who is making it up as he goes along just so that he has a space to live.
I'm going with Corey on this one.
I think he used to be part of the royal family, and he's over here now, and he's got some weird thing going on with the icons that he doesn't want them to have because maybe they've turned evil now.
Royal family of where?
Gamma World. The worst theme park.
Can we go there? Can I vlog it?
I wonder what kind of rides they have.
Maybe you can ride a motorcycle up the snake back.
Foreshadowing.
I think in this instance it might just be spoilers, except I'm not sure we can not have spoilers in this.
So the icons form like a diamond shape and transform into symbols and on this like giant seal that floats up through the ceiling.
It's like gold and it's got colors. It's pretty cool looking.
There's a lot of eyes on it.
It flies up through the ceiling and floats above Snapple HQ. Gramps is all like, oh, it's begun. And then the bubble just disappears.
I counted 7 eyes.
If you can find more than 7 eyes, please let us know at GHOSTWATCH2016 on Twitter.
So Akari hobbles upstairs and out into the world, and everyone can see the giant floaty seal thing, and everyone's like, oh man, we gotta get underneath that to check it out. And it cuts to Military Man, and he's all like, well, just gonna consult this map that I can make float in the air.
He seems the smartest one out of all that. No one knows what this floaty eye thing's going to do, and they're all going to run under it. The last time someone ran under something, it was a large building that was descending into the ground, and we thought he was going to get smushed.
But he was already dead.
Yeah, we forgot he was a ghost. That was on us. That's nobody else. That was our fault.
Running underneath a giant thing just seems like a bad idea.
He's a ghost. It doesn't matter. For these guys, maybe, but for him, not so much.
But maybe they can be ghosts too, and then try to collect some more icons.
But they don't have belts.
He didn't have a belt when he died.
But we saw what happened to Scary Mouth when he didn't have a belt. Eventually that catches up to you.
So Eminem's all like, I'm going to use Pretty Boy's plans. Beep, boop, touching the floaty hologram map where the purple evil eye things are placed from earlier that now maybe seem relevant.
Yeah, and he can see on his little digital Google Maps that the one is closer than the other, so he touches it and he's like, that one. And snakes come up out of the building?
I think they look like Onyx from Pokemon.
If Onyx had like 6 little beady red eyes.
I mean, I think... I know you won't know, Kate, because Onyx is in the first 150, but there's one later called Steelix, which is an Onyx evolution that I kind of feel like might be more...
I'm going to Google it.
And it can fly. This snake monsters fly.
There's a few of them.
Totally Steelix. Except more edges.
Airborne.
There's a number of them. There's, I don't know, what, like 4,
6,
8,
3.
20.
There's 3 of them.
There's at least 3 on a screen.
So Taco intercepts Akari, and then the glowy eye summons him to space.
Literally sucks him into a telephone. Yeah, he's getting sucked by his belt. That sounds bad. But look, it's what happened. His belt was attracted to the thing in the sky, and he was being pulled into the sky by his belt.
And he's a ghost, so he can fly.
I mean, he didn't really act like he could fly at that point. He just kept struggling against this glowing
There's a
belt.
tractor beam attached to his belt that we couldn't see.
All of this sounds bad.
The eye in the middle of the giant glowy symbol-laden thing closes after he goes in, and Urison runs up to it like, me too, but then gets blasted away from the door.
He is having a bad day.
Yeah, it's not a good day for Urison.
Urison is me. I am Urison today.
And so we cut to Spectre moping on some stairs. He's all like, damn it, I'm too late. I didn't make it in time. I'm sorry, Canon sister icon. I'm sorry.
Spectre's really bummed. Like, Canon icon is talking to Spectre. Is like, it's cool. Don't worry. I'm okay.
Yeah,
Spectre
Taco's gonna come back to life. It'll be fine.
Hits his thigh, and he's like, didn't do it.
And Canon's in his hand, and like, don't crush your sister, dude.
So I've got written down here, inside glowy area, Taco Time is talking to child voice?
Yeah, just like a young kid voice is like, what do you want?
I have written down, Taco's in some sort of cloudy heaven.
It's pretty accurate.
Walking on a giant eye.
The child voice wants to know his desire, and then all of a sudden we get a montage of flashbacks behind Taco Time and different people telling him about how they want him to be alive and others who want Canon to be alive, and he is having a decision moment in his brain.
As if we expected nothing more than flashback.
I mean, we didn't get father flashback. We haven't had father flashback in a while.
Yeah, cut to Eminem being all like, giant snake things, retrieve the icons. And they float up into the space seal and are like, oh no, we're on fire now. Kaboom.
The eye then opens where it had disappeared in the seal, and Taco Time floats out with Canon in his arms.
Yeah, just like holding her. She's in like a white dress.
And she asleep.
She real asleep, but they're ascending.
Descending the other way.
I meant descending. I'm real smart today.
Canon's icon disappears from Spectre's hand, and Spectre looks up and is like, thing over there, Canon?
Did Taco do it? I think he did it.
And Inari and Akari are all like, what did you do? And he's all like, I know what you guys wanted, but I did this instead.
But I degaffed.
They explain what happened by doing a flashback into the glowy heaven area of what happened, of him saying he knew what he wanted and he wants Canon alive, instead of showing that happening
The first time.
for suspense reasons. So we got an area with a lot of flashbacks, and then
We had to flash back to that area later to actually see what happened.
yeah, well, too many flashbacks in one space. It overloads heaven, right?
It seems pretty on brand for this show to have all of the flashbacks.
And so Spectre runs up and is all like, Canon! And Taco Time kind of like hands her to him awkwardly. And Spectre's all like, why did you do this? You're so soft!
Gramps agrees in the background.
If you keep doing stupid stuff like this, I'm going to be really old.
Yeah, what's that about?
Well, you see, Taco is taking so long to come back to life that Gramps, the ghost, will age and be unable to hear him in the future.
Oh, ha ha ha.
Oh, I missed that was just a joke and not a I really wanted you to get all the icons together so that I can come back alive kind of moment. But you're right, Gramps isn't quite that character, is he?
No, Canon wakes up and is all like, thank you, Taco.
Just like that.
She sounds a lot younger in the show.
And more Japanese.
Yeah.
So more like, arigato taco time.
Yes, taco time. Not Takeru, but taco time.
Look,
Yes.
even the characters who were brand new have read the field guide and they know that his name is Taco Time.
That's what, like, the Gamma royalty should have, like, a field guide. Like, here's what to do on Earth.
The Ganma Field Guide to Earth.
Collect the icons. Have a party.
Can we have a party?
It has a very nice cover of the planet Earth surrounded by eyeballs and then different icons around it. They're like, these ones. You want these icons. After Taco Time has given Canon over to Spectre and Canon has thanked Taco Time in her native Japanese, we get an image of behind Spectre with everyone circling around being very happy that Canon is alive and slightly sad that Taco Time is not, but they're still very happy about Canon. But from the back view you can see Spectre's pants, which is not really an area you get to see much of, and he's got these pockets that are very blue because he's got blue accents on the black pants, but they look like these eyes that are saying, look at me. I am on the butt. I am the ass pockets. The ass pocket eyes.
I didn't really notice any of this until Heather pointed it out. I'm glad that you did.
Now we're just staring at it.
We have a freeze frame of this scene on the TV.
It's normal to have a staring contest between eyeballs on butts, right?
I mean, that's how you activate all the Omega attacks. Staring at the eyes, eye contact. Yeah, okay, moving along. The giant seal in the sky draws everyone's attention.
And it kind of starts shaking, and all of the icons fall from it and spread all over the basically the grounds of Snapple HQ.
And everyone goes, like, panics and scatters and tries to grab them.
Especially Onari, who, as he's running around the field going, there's one over here, there's one over here, there's one over here, it kind of feels like I'm watching a very excitable child do an Easter egg hunt.
That's exactly what I thought when I saw it too.
Like, right off the start, Taco and Akari find Billy the Kid and Musashi, and then we see the snake things in the air because Eminem has commanded them to collect the icons.
When Onari picks up two of them, he gets rushed by these Steelix snakes to stop him, and he kind of drops them, but he gets them again.
Yeah, he and the two students are out in, like, forest area, gotta catch them all, and then
That's Pokemon.
Taco shows up, protects Onari from the snake, and then Eminem walks up and is all like, I'm gonna get these other two.
Now, okay, here's my big problem with this episode. Onari says, there's the last two on the ground right there. The last two.
The last two, which Eminem picks up and then demands the rest.
Just remember that fact while we continue. The last two.
Okay, Inspector walks up, runs up.
I'd say rocked up.
Rocked up. And Eminem is all like, I'm going to show you what mistakes you've made. And he transforms into Super Gamma. And then Taco and Spectre get in their costumes.
Yeah, there's a lot. Okay, so this is a very confusing fight bit because it's they both transform, which is fine. They're in their basic outfits, but then throughout the entire fight, it's, well, now I'm Billy the Kid. Well, now I'm Beethoven, and now I'm King Tut, and
then Onari's like, "Oh wait, no, I just found another one. Here's Benkei. No, you said you found all of them.
Here's Robin Hood."
Okay, so the order goes: Billy the Kid, Beethoven, Tutankhamun, Edison, Musashi, Nobunaga, Robin Hood, Benkei, Newton.
And Taco Time is the one who's doing most of the transforming. Spectre does a couple. Like he ends up in King Tut,
and Nobunaga. Yeah.
Yeah, but he does not. He is not transforming nearly as often as Taco Time is during this whole sequence.
And it starts off kind of even, like Super Gamma is blocking all their attacks, and then they start to win. And they start to like push him back, and they like teleport to a carved out cliff face area.
Yeah, my favorite part in the fight is about this point where Taco Time has transformed into Newton, and he starts using the attractor and repulsor beams on Eminem to drag him forward and push him back
Into the side of a cliff.
Yeah, repeatedly smash him into a cliff.
Which is actually probably one of the smartest attack moves Taco has ever done.
And a giant snake shows up.
The two of them, Taco Time and Spectre together, form seals and do an Omega Drive kick. They're gonna smash Eminem.
And finally take him out once and for all.
But then a snake comes by and interferes, and Eminem's all like, "Ha! You've gotten too cocky."
Those exact words.
Something like that. I don't know. I was very distracted by many things that were happening.
Pretty Boy shows up and tells Super Gamma Eminem, "You can't be doing this on your own. You're not allowed to.
You don't get to make your own decisions."
Eminem, Superman Eminem is like, "But like I could do this right now," and Pretty Boy's, no, we should leave. And so he's like, "Fine, okay," and they
just hustle off.
Urisen brings over 2 bikes.
Okay, so Urisen at this point has had a bad day. Urisen's voice is weak and wavery.
He's got bandages.
He's got band-aids on his head, and his cloak is like scorched.
And he just comes over with their 2 motorcycles and says, "Leave me behind. I am dead weight."
Yeah, it was just a great pun for him.
And then they have a bike chase through a very empty, kind of flat gravel area.
Which Michael Bay directed because of all of the friggin' explosions.
Like, ostensibly, the snakes are shooting at them and causing these explosions, but mostly it's just 2 guys on bikes, and then just massive explosions everywhere.
We get Captain Ghost coming in at some point, which Urisen is like, "Yeah, I have had this on standby for you. I am here for you, even during my sick days, just like Kate is here for you."
I'm here for you, listeners. And my mucus is also here for you. Corey has been nice enough to edit out all of my coughing and nose blowing. So please, everybody go thank Corey on Twitter.
Kate is making a lot of assumptions about the episode she's not going to listen to.
It's just going to be all nose blowing.
So I have written down, Spectre rides the snake with bike.
Yes.
Which is very important to add the with bike, because Spectre rides the snake is maybe not where you want to end that sentence.
So the snakes are like flying around above this rock quarry. Like, they're like 100 feet in the air, and Spectre just jumps his bike off of nothing and just flies up and then drives along the back of one of these snake things until he gets to the head end, I assume.
I'm pretty sure Taco attempted the same thing.
No, see, Iguana Ghost Striker just leaps onto the face of one of them.
Oh yeah, Iguana Ghost Striker showed up out of nowhere.
Well, I mean, like Captain Ghost showed up and they did the transformation and in the air again on the way to the face.
It was very hard to see because I know Captain Ghost showed up. I know there was a transformation, but he kind of just is there.
I feel like I missed a lot through this mountain of tissues.
And then Taco Time falls off like a scrub. And Iguana Ghost Striker continues to go for the face, even though Taco Time is like, Iguana, a lift, please?
Isn't this about the point where we've noticed that they're on the back of the snake tails, there's hands? They have hand tails.
There's friggin' hands, and the hand tails are like grabbing them and smashing Taco into like the side of a cliff.
This is not the first, because as we've been going through the episode while we talk, there have been other instances where the snakes have used their hand tails.
This is the first time we noticed, because it grabs Taco off the ground and smashes him repeatedly into a cliff.
I think you listeners need to understand the magnitude of size of these flying snakes. These snakes are huge, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay, so Spectre uses Omega Fang on one of them, and it explodes. And then I think Iguana Ghost Striker does something to the other one, and also explodes, leaving one left.
After a roller coaster ride for Taco Time of being smashed into a cliff face and then flying around while many other explosions happen and then being smashed into the ground by hand tails, he rolls around and this cloud of black smoke kind of puffs up at him. And I thought he was untransforming here, but what was really happening was the Musashi jacket flies into the air.
And is all like, we take to the field of battle. Wahaha, I can talk now.
And then not only is Musashi there, all the jackets that Taco possesses are there.
They all line up behind one another, right behind Musashi, because Musashi's clearly the leader jacket.
And Taco's all like, yeah, let's do this. Like, he understands what is going on and what he needs to do right now.
So my thought is that all of the jackets were going to individually fight for Taco against Flying Rock Snake.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good assumption. I kind of thought the same thing. I was like, this is going to be awesome. Jacket fight. I like jacket fight.
So, Corey, what actually happened?
Okay, so Taco turns around, leaps backwards into the air, his orange jacket pops off, and he starts to put on all of the jackets in line, and the orange one hops to the end of the line where he puts it on, and then a seal forms around him, and he's got like many arms, and then he's like, I'm gonna let my life burn bright, and then he just kicks the snake in the face.
Doesn't use any of the other jacket's abilities, just does an Omega Drive to the face.
But he doesn't even call it an Omega Drive, and his foot's not on fire.
Yeah, I'm like, this is far less spectacular than anything else you've ever done.
I know, and the setup of him putting on all those jackets is like, oh wow, this is gonna be awesome. No.
Yeah, it was very anticlimactic.
A little. I would have preferred the jacket fight that we thought was going to happen, or a different move.
Anything. Just something.
Something to justify putting on 7 jackets.
I've never put on 7 jackets.
He was cold. Now he's warmer in the fire of this giant snake that he kicked in the face.
I think he just has some hot feet. Oh, Inari finds Goemon after this, who is a hero we've not heard of, because it's probably one of the 5 that Scary Mouth had.
Yeah, guess what? Another icon.
It's yellow also.
And then Inari
just
faints.
Like Edison.
Stupid.
He's like, oh good, the fight's over.
And Taco lands next to Spectre and is all like, high five, and Spectre's like, fist bump your high five.
They've got some timing things they need to work out.
I thought it was kind of a cute moment.
And we cut to the rooftop.
Oh, right. This is where I wrote rooftop. Booftop.
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 It is the booftop with all of the vents that I think we've previously only seen Scary Mouth on for midnight scary times. And Pretty Boy is talking to Eminem. And Eminem's all like, I didn't understand that icons were important.
I feel like he's really not in the loop about anything.
It's like he has his own agenda, but he hasn't been updated on the other agenda.
Well, he also doesn't tell Pretty Boy that he has taken a couple of the icons.
Yeah, and he's mentioned previously in another episode that he hasn't told Pretty Boy about some kind of power or something that the icons can do.
Yeah, and Pretty Boy's all like, you wasted some snakes. You'll pay.
Have you tried to get a Steelix? I mean, I know you can't in Pokemon Go right now, but have you tried to get a Steelix in the main game? That takes some work. I'm pretty sure it takes work. I mean, Pretty Boy had like 7 Steelixes or something, and that's going to take a lot of trainer power and a lot of battling.
So much Stardust?
A lot of Pokemon, and a lot of Stardust probably. I can't imagine how many Onyx candies he would have needed.
Like 100.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I mean, a Gyarados is 400.
But those, like a Magikarp Gyarados evolution's always been really super special. Whereas like the Onyx Steelix thing, when it was introduced, was just like, well, in the show it was like, oh, super special, because a rock type evolves into a steel type, and we've never heard of a steel type. But then in the game it's just like, yeah, you'd have to evolve an Onyx. That's it.
Also, a Gyarados spawned on Wharf Street yesterday, and somebody caught one.
What?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Monster.
Yeah.
it's a pocket monster.
Now we're back at Snapple HQ with the most awkward posing and framing I've ever seen in this show. It is Canon and it is Spectre standing on the front steps in front of the Snapple crew, and Spectre's arm is around Canon, and it is, oh god, it's just so awkward to look at.
He's trying to stand as far away from her as possible, like not make contact with his body.
Yeah, you would think they would stand closer together given how close he was acting about his sister and how he needed to bring her back. And you'd think that in this moment of he's actually very happy, which I'm not used to seeing because I'm so used to his angry face at this point. But you think that he would just be like, yeah, sister here, very happy. And it's more like, I have my sister back. I do not want to touch.
And everyone's very happy.
Except Akari. Akari's a little bummed out that Taco didn't save himself.
And also maybe that Canon stole her jacket.
Yeah, she is walking away with Akari's jacket on.
You can actually see Akari just watching her go and be like, not
Just
getting
get
that back,
her
huh?
lips pursed.
Yeah. That jacket cost me $400.
Yeah, and it looks like Canon is supposed to be kind of supported by Spectre, but they're still standing way too far apart when they're walking away.
It's super weird.
So we still technically have time for Taco to come back to life.
Yeah, they're only missing 2 icons, maybe?
Or more. We don't know.
I'm sure the beginning of the next episode will tell us, but there is a sunset going on, so that's nice.
Spectre has 3 and 1 mystery one. Well, like 2 and 1 mystery one, and then Ghost has 8.
Taco.
Kamen Rider Ghost, the titular character, has 8 icons.
8.
Titular?
That's 11. So we're missing 4.
Why are you? No.
We know that Kate's laughing about the word titular because she's 12.
I made Corey laugh about it too. Corey's ashamed that she said titular.
Corey's ashamed of the word titular.
Now you're just saying it really slowly.
Yes, I am.
I'm going to start saying titular, but that's worse.
Nope, that's definitely not better. All right.
Titular.
Main character.
Taco time.
I said main character.
You said titular.
This is pretty much main character. Taco time has 8. Spectre has 3, one we've never seen before. We know that Eminem has 2. That means there's 2 more somewhere in the Onari Easter hunt.
Maybe Onari just forgot them in his pocket or something.
That seems like Onari.
I mean, no one else was looking for them quite as hard as he was, or as excitedly. The 2 students were helping, but you didn't see Akari running around being all...
Her ankle is sore.
She seemed like she was standing just fine at the end of that show.
So anything within arm's reach could be picked up.
She could have tried to help.
So, I don't know about you two, but I'm pretty hopped up on cold medication right now, and this episode seemed wacky.
It was very frantic. A lot of stuff happened. I don't know why we transformed into 8 jackets.
And then didn't use any of their powers.
I don't know why Taco Time kept transforming into all the other jackets during that fight scene.
I don't know why Spectre rode a motorcycle up a giant rock snake with a hand for a tail.
Yeah, like theoretically Spectre can also fly. So why did he need the motorcycle?
Why was this episode today? I can't make sense of any of it.
Where was... Okay, no, the Divine Eye was clearly the big giant eye of the sky. Never mind. I understood. I figured it out.
Magnificence. Okay, we're going to go now.
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening. Check out at GHOSTWATCH2016 for us.
Good. Solid. Good. Do you mean the podcast they're listening to, or do you mean on Twitter?
Yes.
Great. At GhostWatch2016 on Twitter. GhostWatch2016.xyz. Or Z for you Americans. Subscribe on iTunes. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter.
And remember, if you're going to go to Earth, maybe check out the Ganma Field Guide before coming.
For all your Earth hot tips.
Thank you for listening.